for what we're doing and what to expect, I guess. So first of all, I just want to thank you for being willing to coach. I know you guys are going to do a great job. And you're going to have a lot of fun. So I'm going to share my screen a little bit. And I'm just going to kind of go through this, like why Skilled Hoops exist. It's all about developing people. And you guys will be, obviously, you're 5th through 8th graders, so they're pretty impressionable. And a lot of them, it's kind of a blank slate. Sorry, I got to keep admitting people. But that's what it's all about. So you guys are in a great spot where you got a whole team of kids that, especially you guys that are college age, they think you are awesome. So it's a great opportunity to just have a fun environment where kids are still going to learn stuff, learn how to compete. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So Skilled Hoops, kind of the reason I established it and what I want to do, our passion to empower athletes to pursue excellence by developing their God-given capacity to become great, positioning themselves to fulfill their purpose. Okay, so we use basketball really as just a tool to really get to know kids, build good relationships with them, and then teach them things that are going to help them for their entire life. So the old man's trying to figure out how to get on Zoom. Where's he at? So then the thing that makes us different, though, everything that we do and apply has a reason. And I have done a lot of research on really top level athletes and coaches. And I've done my best to package it in a way that we can practically teach that to young kids. And I believe that through that, that's where what we do is different. And the reason why we do a lot of what we do, it all has a rhyme or reason. And so I don't have the answers by any means, but I have learned from a lot of different people and kind of put it together. And so this is kind of my whole philosophy on how we do things. Today, really all we're going to talk about kind of our 4 core values that Skilled Hoops has. And I've used these with my basketball team. And it's really kind of who I am. And I found that these things, you might not always have the most talented players, but if we can hold to these values, you'll always act and compete and conduct yourself like a winner. And that's all you can do as an individual. So we'll go through those a little bit. Again, I'm going to keep it to 15 minutes. Connor knows I can be a little windy, but so I'm going to keep rolling. The first one is belief. And it's really just a mindset. I can, no matter how crappy my situation, there's something small I can do to make it better, or how great my situation. There's always, I'm the one in control and I can make choices that are going to help us out. And so in a game with your guys or with your girls, when something goes bad, okay, you can't change what's already happened. Okay, but you can help them gain perspective and move forward in a positive manner. I have purpose. I matter. My life is not an accident. I'm strategically designed. I have something to offer. These are the fundamental aspects of belief. Belief is a powerful driving force. Belief fuels persistence. And the second one is love. And we use the acronym FAMILY, which means forget about me, I love you. And it's the reality that we all have influence, especially you college kids coaching middle school kids. They look up to you guys so much. So you can use that influence in good and bad. And I'm excited to see you guys use it in a positive way, where you can kind of leave your little bit of a handprint on those kids as you interact with them. So my actions affect those around me. Influence is leadership. To lead, I must serve. Love is accepting that this is not about me. Love is making conscious decisions for the good of the whole. So again, just keep in mind that the things that you're doing, you're going to have influence, and those kids look up to you, and that's a powerful thing. And you guys are going to use that for good, and you're going to enjoy it. The last 2, we got effort, which effort takes action. Okay. Effort is a source of improvement. Effort is making the choice of being uncomfortable. Effort is going the extra mile. Effort is doing work with high intensity. Effort is deliberate practice. Effort distributes reward like the return of compound interest. At first, it seems as if the effort is in vain. At the tipping point, though, effort is like a snowball rolling down a hill, multiplying with every rotation. So a lot of these kids, they might not see immediate results. They probably won't. But if you can help them have perspective and realize that, hey, it takes what it takes. And you don't start lifting weights and just get jacked in a month. But when you develop the habits of working out, lifting weights consistently, then it has big time reward later on. I haven't found that yet, but working on it. The last one is excellence. Okay, excellence, it's what you do, and it's who you are all the time. And so we want to build good, strong habits that kind of reflect these things. Excellence is quality. Excellence is strategic. Excellence is poised. Excellence is prepared. Excellence is how you do something. Excellence is valuing the journey over the destination. Excellence is consistency, and excellence is a way of life. Okay, so kind of everything I do and kind of encompassing skill hoops, kind of about those things: is belief, love, effort, and excellence. We're trying to put forth something that really can powerfully impact people, and we're packaging it in a way that we can build relationships with them, have them learn a lot, and you guys get a cool opportunity. When you teach, you actually learn more than the student. So some of you guys will be kind of feeling that for the first time. So expectations I have for you guys. So you're going to be at all practices and tournaments. If you do have something going on, which there's a chance you might, just communicate with us. You can either Coach Savela is in charge in Lincoln. So Cade and Jackson, if you guys have something going on, Savela, you can tell him I'll be there about half the time as well. And then Coach Kierkegaard and we'll be helping in Columbus and in Hastings a little bit. But just make sure you let us know. If you haven't told us, we just assume that you're going to be there. So the next one, be prepared for practice. Have things lined up, written down, that you have a plan for what you're going to do in practice. And we'll kind of talk about how we want to structure that for some of you guys that are maybe doing that for the first time. You guys going to help manage rosters, communicate with students. I feel like I'm at the school right now. Communicate schedules with athletes and parents. Okay, develop positive relationships. Whether your team wins every game or doesn't do so hot, if you build positive relationships with those kids and the parents see that and you get to know them and those kids are learning something that's our life lessons are going to go beyond basketball, I found that people are most likely going to be happy. They're not going to agree with you with everything, but they're going to be happy with the experience. Ensure a positive learning environment between coaches, players, and officials. Just kind of be aware of what's going on, making sure we're conducting ourselves in a way that's positive and that it's about growth and it's about developing the kids. Promote a team first atmosphere where all members of the team contribute. And kind of the way we do that is making sure everybody's playing even up until like the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game. And then you can go try to win if it's a tight game or whatever. And really, most of your teams, the skill levels of the players will be pretty even, which makes it a little easier. But make sure you're giving everybody time up until that last portion. As far as practice and even games, make sure you're working on fundamentals. Okay, spacing. Make sure you have man defense. You can have a change up if you want to play a little zone. But I believe youth players, they might be more effective if they're in some zone, but they don't learn anything. They don't learn how to move and that kind of stuff. And be ready, have a press in or two, and then be ready for press breaks. You will get pressed a lot. And the biggest thing for you guys, if there's an issue, I need to know about it right away. Okay, don't wait. Don't think, oh, what's he going to think? Just call me. Be like, this happened. That way we can kind of get out in front of it and we can work together to solve it. I don't want to be surprised by something. Okay. If something happens and anytime you coach, even if it's this type of a deal, there's a high potential that somebody's not going to be completely happy with you. So if there's something going on, just let me know. I've dealt with a lot of parent issues in my day. I've been threatened to be sued multiple times. One time I was told the NAACP was going to show up at my house. Okay. So I've seen lots of different situations, and none of that's going to happen to you because you're not coaching a high school team. But let me know even something that's small. That way we can get out in front of it and make sure we give you guys all the support you need to handle the situation well. And the biggest thing is just ensuring that kids have a great experience. And some ways to do that, I think there's three main ways. You are trying to build a love of the game. So challenge them, hey, go do this on your own. But it needs to be fun. They're not going to love the game. They're not going to fall in love with it and go spend a lot of time at the Y or in their driveway if it's a negative experience. And if coach is always on them. Now you can still get after them, but they need to know you care, and you need to tell them that you care. They don't know what you don't tell them. And so you got to make sure you're voicing those things. The second one, a growth mindset and character. Those are the things you're trying to build. And then lastly, skill and conceptual understanding. I'll kind of go through each of those a little bit. Okay. For the love of the game, be positive. Okay. Celebrate effort. Sometimes a kid will try to do the right thing, but it just doesn't happen, and they might lose the ball or whatever. But celebrate the effort, celebrate their improvement, and make a big deal about it. High fives are a big deal. Fist bumps. Okay. Jumping up and down. Feel free to do some of that stuff when a kid does something, because that makes a big difference. The other thing, if a game's not going well, because maybe a team put some defense on you hadn't practiced against or whatever, just know that you can make some adjustments in the game, but don't lose your voice yelling in the middle of the game, because you need practice to get them on the right track. So just keep that in mind. I know it's sometimes frustrating, and I'm extremely competitive too. But you got to have practice to get stuff lined up. And then, like we said, equal playing time till the last like 3 or 4 minutes. Okay. For a growth mindset, it is the coach's job. I'd say no matter if you're coaching a 6th grade team or a varsity team, it's your job to direct perspective. Okay. The athletes, the kids will think about situations the way that their coach or the adults around them thinks about the situation. So even when things are, especially when things are bad, okay, make them about growth. Okay. What did we learn? What do we need to do better? Okay. And let them be a part of that. Help them focus on what they can control. Okay. You can't control the officials. Okay. You can control what you do. Next, and then always helping them understand practical steps that they can do to improve. Okay. Don't just like yell to yell. Like, you can kind of yell, but make sure you're saying something that's practical that they can do and they understand. And one thing we use a lot have used with our high school teams is NBA. Okay. Which means next best action. You turn the ball over. Okay. What's the next best action? Okay. You got to move on. You can't change that thing from the past. And helping them, that personal stretch zone, get out of your comfort zone, helping them kind of celebrating when they're kind of stretching themselves, getting out of their comfort zone, trying something new, and really kind of leaning into their own development. Okay. And again, a team perspective. So when you guys just remember, okay, you set the tone. It's your job to direct where people's perspective are. And as a coach, it's your job to be the calmest person of the group. Okay. If you're nuts, everybody's going to be nuts. At the same time, if you're lackadaisical and not prepared and not intense, okay, that'll happen too. So it's kind of that fine line between poise and intensity that you have to have as a coach. So as far as skill and conceptual understanding, okay, have a written plan. Okay, don't just show up, think we're gonna wing this thing. Now, I have coached hundreds of practices. Has my practice always gone just like my plan? No. Okay, but you need to think about it before you come in. To help you guys out, I'll share this with you, and you can click kind of on this box where it says practice template. And we have put together a template that I believe works. One of the books that I've read is The Talent Code. And what that guy did, he traveled to all these different places that had talent hotbeds and kind of studied how they practiced. And essentially, we've taken the template of how those talent hotbeds practiced, and we've broken it down for the specific, I guess, fundamentals or aspects of the game. And we have drills on there too, if you're looking for a drill for some of that stuff. A lot of y'all already have some drills that you already know. Caden Jackson, Coach Savela can help you guys out too, and he might have come with a practice plan. We'll have to talk to him, get that figured out. The people at Columbus, I know Coach Kierkegaard will have a plan, but you guys will need to be working on different things because your groups won't all be in the same spot as far as knowing what they need to do. As far as concepts go, teach concepts, don't teach plays. Now you need to have some plays in for end of half, end of quarter situations, but make sure they're simple. But if you need help teaching motion offense, I have a bunch of rules and a bunch of stuff that are pretty simple that I could help you with. But make sure, don't stick the biggest kid on the floor on the block the whole time. Now you can play some 4-out around them and get post touches, but especially on the boys' side, a lot of times the tallest kid in middle school is not the tallest kid in high school. So they need to develop guard skills as well. And I believe guards need to develop post skills. If you need help with some of that, I have a bunch of coaches resources that I have stuff written out, and I'm willing to talk to you about motion offense, man defense, that kind of stuff that you can take a look at and I'll share with you. But feel free to do what you know. Like Ava, feel free to do what you guys do at Doan, a dumbed down version of that. But be thinking about how conceptually your defense is and the offense is gonna complement each other. Okay, if you're trying to run up and down the court and you have the players to do it, then maybe you want to play a little more pressure defense. If you more have guys that maybe you're not quite as athletic and you need to kind of muck the game up a little bit and play more gaps and get in help more and kind of get more ball reversals offensively, then you but your offense and defensive philosophy has to work together. You are going to need a press break. Okay. You will get pressed a lot. Teams will come out and they'll start with the press until until you prove that you can break it. Okay. And if you need help with that, I have 3 or 4 that I could help you with. And then I would encourage you, especially middle school kids, the aggressor always wins. Okay. If your kids are playing on their heels, they're not going to be aggressive. They're not going to be as confident, and they're just not going to play as well. So I would encourage you to have a press in, and when you feel like their intensity is kind of dropping, throw that in there. Does anybody have any questions about any of this stuff? Okay, and if you do, feel free to call me later or text me or whatever. And I'm excited to get going. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys are going to do a great job. Those kids are going to love being around you. Pretty much everybody starts practice on Sunday. I believe they're all at from 1 to 3. You guys are going to be helping in Lincoln. That'll be at Raymond Central. The rest of us are in Columbus. So it'll be good. The other thing is, and I'll be there at Columbus helping collect checks, but if you guys could help, and I'll share a spreadsheet that has who I've gotten money from on your team and who still owes me. But when I get money, all the money from your team, okay, I'll go ahead and pay you for the spring portion. That kind of helps me and doesn't make it so me and Savela are the only ones trying to get money from people. And most people have already paid, so it'll be easy. And then the skill academies, which at the Lincoln guys, that'll be on Monday nights from 7 to 8:30 at Raymond Central. And then the Columbus guys, that'll be 7 to 8:30 on Tuesdays. And I'll be at the Columbus one this week. But Coach Kierkegaard and I will kind of flip back and forth. One of us will be at the Columbus one. The other one will be in Hastings, kind of running the other one. So what questions you guys have? You good? Again, if you have anything, feel free to text me. I got all you guys' shirt sizes, so we'll get you that. But I'm excited. Thank you for doing this, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. So I went longer than 15 minutes. Connor's not surprised.
Nope.
Nope. Coach likes to talk. So, well, I appreciate it, guys. Let me know. Everybody's got my cell phone number. If you have any questions, let me know. But just remember, you have to be the calmest and sometimes most intense person. And it's your job to dictate kind of where everybody's perspective is. So, and it's an art. You're going to mess up. But the sooner you start doing it, the sooner it's going to help you as a coach and as a leader in other aspects too. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining us. And feel free to call me if you need anything. Did Michigan State win, Rusty?
No,
The loss. Dang it.
nope, they lost.
So
K-State tried to give it up. They tried to give it away, but they couldn't.
I didn't see much of overtime, but well, thank you guys for joining us. Let's go get it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you.
See you
Thanks.
guys.